Hey everyone, welcome back. Hope you are enjoying your weekend. Today we finally have something to look at for Aquaman in the Lost Kingdom. Comes out in December, it's already September, and there has been like zero marketing whatsoever for this movie. So we finally have a teaser, and it is being released a few days before the full-length trailer. So let's check out the teaser really quickly.
Kill Aquaman and destroy everything he holds dear.
What are those?
Aquaman and the Lost Kingdom.
Like I said, quick teaser. Says there that the full trailer will be coming out in 4 days, so should be Thursday of this coming week. It was being talked about recently that like there's been no marketing for Aquaman 2. I mean, especially for a film that is part of a huge franchise, and the first film did very well. It was, made $1 billion. I think it was mostly generally liked by people for the most part. Of course, there's always going to be people who are not fond of a movie, but I think generally it did pretty well, and it made them a lot of money. First of all, it got pushed back a couple times, right? The date moved around a few times, before the merger, and then after the merger, it moved around a few times, the release date. But December 20th, it is coming out. That date is sticking, and there's been no marketing for it. But I'm really not that a whole lot surprised by that, because there's been like 3 rounds of reshoots is what the reports have been saying, that there's been like 3 rounds of reshoots, and not all of them obviously have been with the new regime. It's kind of been like each leadership team has had their own input and things that they wanted to change. So the old regime had a round of reshoots because it was done filming a long time before the merger happened, because it was supposed to come out a year ago. So it was done filming, they had their own reshoots, and then when Pamela Abdi and Michael DeLuca were kind of like the temporary ones in charge of DC after the merger, I think then it kind of went through some changes, and that's when we saw that Ben Affleck had come back, and it was kind of leaked accidentally. That's when that came out. And then now, after James Gunn and Peter Safran got put into their official positions, then there's been more changes and reshoots since then. So it's really gone through a lot. It's gone through 3 leadership teams, very similar situation to The Flash. Good, bad, indifferent, I don't know. Cool teaser. I'm looking forward to seeing the full-length trailer this week. Was it going to have a negative impact that they are just barely starting marketing? I don't know. They pushed so hard on the marketing for The Flash, and the movie didn't make any money, despite the fact that a lot of people actually enjoyed it, myself being one of them. And so I don't know if marketing has anything to do with it. It plays a role, obviously, but I think really the big thing that is impacting these movies coming out this year from DC is the whole change in leadership, the changes that they, kind of made and then went back on their word for, and then knowing that there's going to be a reboot, knowing that there's so many changes taking place to the movies themselves, and, like with The Flash, finding out about the alternate endings. That story came out right after the movie was released, which obviously they, when stories are released, it's like they have that information for a long time, and then they wait until a certain time to release it. We found out right when the movie came out, which doesn't incentivize people to watch it. Just makes people kind of frustrated. I really liked that first Aquaman movie, though. I thought it was good. I thought James Wan did a great job. I mean, the CGI and the visual effects was a huge undertaking, and I think they really did a good job with that. And not just that, I think Patrick Wilson as Orm was phenomenal, and I am looking forward to seeing. He wasn't in this teaser yet, I don't think, unless I missed him. I don't think he was, though. Maybe we'll see him in the full-length trailer. But I'm interested to see how that plays out with, their relationship now. What kind of dynamic are they going to have? I hope they keep that integrity of his character from the first movie, because I thought he was just so great in that role. But I am, I'm interested to see what they have to offer with this one. I hope that I hope it's not obvious that it's gone through a lot of changes, but I guess if you kind of already know that, it's hard not to see that. You know what I mean? Like, if you don't know that a movie has gone through a lot of changes, then you probably, some things might feel off here and there. But when you go in knowing that it's gone through a lot of changes, it's more obvious that like you see it, you notice those things more. You know what I mean? And now being the kind of online world that we live in, where we know a lot of things about these movies long before they come out, and we're kind of, you know, for those of us that follow along from like production to, you know, from the time the movie's announced, and then we're learning things during production, we're seeing set photos, we're seeing behind the scenes stuff, we're seeing things that are rumors, potentially leaked information. You know, we see all of these things and hear all these things before the movie comes out. It affects our perception of the movie before we go and watching it. We're not just relying on trailers anymore like we used to for movies. We know so much more of that, more information now before we watch them. I hope it's not another one of those cases like The Flash, but I'm not going to be surprised if it is, because The Flash was a good movie. Visually, it had issues, but performance-wise, Ezra Miller, you know, the cast did a great job, and there were a lot of emotional, you know, deep moments that I really appreciated, and, you know, abilities of his that they showed that I really appreciated. So I think that James Wan is probably going to do a great job with this movie, just like he did the first one. But when it's gone through several changes in leadership, and they each have their own opinion and things that they want to change or things that they want to include, or, you know what I mean? And the fact that we heard about the, you know, negative feedback and responses from some of the test screenings, that was pretty shocking to me, given how well the first movie did and that it was a good movie. So I don't know. I guess it's hard to say at this point. We don't really know how well the movie's going to do or not do, and I don't think box office numbers are the only indicator, obviously, but it does mean something. It is, you know, especially when, you know, The Flash is like that movie had so much potential to do much better. And, you know, I mean, I think this one's up against a higher standard, obviously, because this one is a sequel, and the first one did very well for the studio. So that's going to put more pressure on this movie to do well. However, a lot of fans are kind of checked out and not as interested or invested because we know there's a reboot happening. This is basically the last movie we're going to get from the previous DC universe. Just thing that they waited this long to start marketing for it. But like I said, what happened with The Flash, maybe they're like, we're not going to put this much into marketing and then the movie not do well, because that's a lot of money spent. And not to mention all the reshoots and changes they've made. That's a lot of time and money spent as well. I just feel like that doesn't favor the movie usually when there's that many changes happening. But I'm looking forward to the trailer. It's going to be interesting to see Black Manta come back as well and have more of that story play out. So I'm looking forward to the trailer. Let me know what you thought of this quick teaser. Is there anything specific you hope to see in the trailer or the movie itself? Thank you guys for watching. I am also, you know, kind of trying to brainstorm and think about some new segments to add to the channel. For instance, I do the High Five, where I kind of quickly cover like a few mini topics. So that's one segment that I enjoy, and I appreciate the feedback that I usually get on those videos as well. I'm glad you guys enjoy those. But anything, it doesn't have to be movie related. If you guys have any ideas for segments you'd like to see, it doesn't have to be movie related. It can be, you know, different things. Just a segment I can do regularly, like for instance, like a strange or weird news. Like I like those kind of stories. Like they can be interesting. You know, I don't know how other people feel about that. But if you have any ideas about different segments I can have on the channel, or something that you would like to see, let me know and share your thoughts. But thank you guys for all the support, and don't forget to like, share, comment, subscribe. We'll see you soon, and I'll definitely be doing a trailer reaction for the full Aquaman and the Lost Kingdom trailer. So keep on the lookout for that as well.